Let's go. Are we on?
Yep.
Let's do it. Bye. Welcome. Hope everybody's doing good tonight. Go ahead and get yourself in the comments. Get yourself some wine in your glasses. Yeah. I'm drinking some Mary Ruth tonight. What are you starting with, Chris?
I'm starting with a little Blanc du Bois.
Yeah, so the packs are going to be a little bit mixed. So some of you may have Blanc du Bois, some of you may have Mary Ruth, but
Kelsey, we have music going on right now, or is it just us talking?
No, it's all y'all.
Awesome.
I think we're going to roll a video though, right? So
Yeah.
we got a cool video. We've been harvesting grapes and doing all kinds of stuff over the last few months.
Getting it done.
So you're going to get to see a cool little video montage we got prepared. And we'll get back with you in just a second. And we'll talk through some of these wines.
Yeah. You guys put some wine in your glass.
Yeah, for sure.
I wish Catherine was here so I could get this video.
Yeah, no, technical difficulties.
Got the video rolling now, guys.
Cool. Yeah, get in the comments. We're I actually like to see like how the furthest person is with us tonight. So we also got Graham and Kelsey that are with us tonight. So you may hear them at some point. They give us all the cues for things to talk about, hang out. So
Cool.
if you hear another voice, that's who you're hearing.
We'll get started in just 1 second. These are little cool. These are all videos from this year's harvest and last year's harvest. Lots of cool stuff going on. Actually, no, these are all from this year's harvest.
Yeah, that's
And
good.
so also, guys, put on the comments where everybody's coming in from.
Yeah. Victoria Calais, see you watching us. Thank you.
What's up, Victoria? Jennifer, good to see you.
And this is we're coming off of last night. We had a big industry night, so I think saw a lot of people there.
Yeah.
Another night.
Another night.
It's good to see everyone though. It was fun.
Alta, what is going on, girlfriend? Bring them on video. I like it.
We got San Antonio, Sugarland, Brown Rock.
Stacy, what's up? My boy Dylan.
I like looking at these pictures too.
Hey Dylan, it's so good to see you. How did
Dylan still works here?
How did the Hogs do last Saturday?
Oh, that's rough, man.
Yeah, I think did Arkansas win on Saturday? I know we're doing a football show.
Yeah, it is Thursday night football. You watch Thursday night football a lot?
Sometimes.
We play fantasy football horribly.
Oh my gosh, I'm getting blown away right now.
Yeah, my teams are awful.
But it did make me feel better that the Hogs lost on Saturday and the Aggies smoked Arkansas. All right, we're back on.
We're back on. It's us. Let's do it.
Let's jump straight in, guys. So some of you, hey, by the way, thank you. I'm Chris. I think most of everybody knows me. This
I'm
is
Andrew. I think everybody may know me.
AKA Drew Baby Sides.
Thank you. There you go.
We're so excited to have you guys here. We got lots of fun wine to run through. I thought we would be. Did we get everything? No, we still have one more lot out.
We have 2 more lots. So on my spreadsheet, we're like 98.6%.
We are almost there.
Almost done.
We were supposed to be done by tonight, but we've got 2 more lots.
This is supposed to be a real celebratory virtual tasting for all of our projects. We're close though.
Yeah,
really close. We had to make it to October so that we say we harvest from June to October. So it sounds more important.
that's right.
Yeah. Speaking of June harvest, you're drinking some Blanc du Bois.
Well, there was a few lucky fans that got Mary Ruth, the very, very last bit of Mary Ruth in their pack.
Yeah, I thought this has been out forever.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
You literally got the last little bit that our distributor had, and we moved into the Blanc du Bois. So pour some wine in your glass. I hope everybody is drinking and getting ready for Thursday night football. We've got a lot of cool stuff in line for you. Mary Ruth, obviously, such a killer wine. That wine was named after Mary Ruth Blackman. She's been a huge part of our story forever. When Bill and I started with Chris, we couldn't afford, the bank wouldn't give us money. And so
I wouldn't give you money either.
Yeah, right. Well, she was amazing and actually backed us. She put up her ranch as collateral for us to buy this property and get our first operating line. And you do that, you get a wine named after you. And I'm really proud of that wine. Over the years, it's really developed, and Tony and our winemaking team we've really worked really hard over the past. I guess this is going to be the 11th or 12th vintage of that. 2010 was the first time we ever made that. So it's a pretty beautiful blend. I wish we had more, and for all you fans out there that are watching, I am sorry we didn't make more. I wish we did. We made what the vintage brought us, and for those of you who are drinking the last bottle of Mary Ruth, thank you, and I'm glad that you're enjoying it because again, I wish we had 1,000 more cases because it's everybody's favorite wine.
Oh, and it's like I just sipped it. It's like
Singing
right now. So if you do still have some, you should definitely be happy that you held on to it for a little bit. It's drinking really, really nice.
For sure. And the next wine, for those of you who didn't get Mary Ruth, is Blanc de Bois, which there is definitely Blanc de Bois in Mary Ruth. Blanc de Bois is a wonderful French-American hybrid grape. And if you would have told me 10 years ago or 15 years ago that we'd be having a winery that made hybrid varieties, I'd be like, no way. There's no way. And I still I haven't had a lot of hybrid variety wine that is actually interesting or delicious. And Blanc de Bois is so incredibly versatile. I mean, we're strongly considering getting more plantings of Blanc de Bois. I think Andrew, my amazing partner, who's a West Texas boy, who's always trying to drive more high plants grapes, we were on the fence about how much we were going to grow the Blanc de Bois program.
I think I should tell the story.
All right.
Seriously, I was like, came to him last year. I run all production for all the different vineyards and have to basically make all of the fruit fit into these different programs that we have. And I was really like kind of just crunching the numbers and going through it. And I'm like, I don't know, like if Blanc de Bois is like a good fit here anymore.
And you're saying this because there's a lot of small growers around East Texas that have like maybe 2 acres or 4 acres or an acre and a half. And so logistically, it's very challenging.
Super challenging logistically. Like that's the main thing is we farm grapes all over Texas, and obviously Brenham is the most eastern part of the state that we get grapes from. We have to go out there and it's hand harvested, but I literally went out there, went to Brenham with Chris like one time, and we went and met some growers, went and met John Dale.
We went on his man day. We got a B&B.
Yeah, we had a B&B in Brenham. We went at dinner and met the growers, and honestly, it was just like I was like turned from there. I like volunteered to go out to the harvest. It was the very first one of the year. It was pretty fun.
We were driving home the next day, and he's like, "All right, I get it. I think we need to continue Blanc de Bois, even if it costs us more. It doesn't matter because the fruit's so good and the growers are so good, and they're doing a great job in a really interesting time." Yeah,
and they're real innovative too. They like have different trellis systems that we work with in other parts of the state, and it's a cool little area. It's like you don't realize how many people are out there growing. Like just small little blocks of Blanc de Bois. So you get out there and it's like, oh, well, they have like a whole little organization that meets, and
a bunch of
Paul was telling me that there's like 20 of them.
55 and older guys, and they all have 3 acres or 5 acres or 2 acres. And
that's great.
And as far as versatility, Blanc de Bois is incredibly versatile in that we can pick it a little underripe and make an incredible sparkling wine. We can pick it really nice and ripe and make what you're drinking today. Even though it's 11.5% alcohol, this wine it's such a food-friendly wine. It retains its acidity very well, which makes it a wonderful component of Mary Ruth. It also ages incredibly well. Well, I don't think you should age this for 10 years. This wine is delicious for the next 3 to 5 years, no problem, and it drinks incredibly well. Redfish is one of my absolute favorite pairings with Blanc de Bois, especially really ripe Blanc de Bois. Redfish on half shell, if you get down to the coast, I highly recommend it. Also, if you go to Rockport, Texas, check out my boy, my brother, Larry Robinson. I was on the phone with him. Our captain who sponsor our boat and have been for many years down in Rockport. So if you're ever fishing, look up Captain Larry in Rockport. He goes out of Port Aransas in Rockport. And go, if you get some redfish out of that, please bring it to me, and I will split a bottle of Blanc de Bois with you.
You're talking about the versatility of it. I can tell you that 2022 is going to be like the coolest thing about Blanc de Bois is we have a little sparkling project that we're working on with some Blanc de Bois, and it is some of the best fruit that I can remember for this variety coming in a the
For
last
sure.
3 to 4 years was this year. So it's definitely something to be excited about.
That sparkling project, guys, by the way, for all of you fans that are watching today, you get to be in the know. I think we're really gonna start looking at cranking out a larger sparkling production, not only in PetNat, but I think we're looking at some more Bethlehem Champenois sparkling. I know we've done some Blanc de Bois sparkling in the past, and I think we're going to increase that program because it's like, I think after Andrew went out there and everybody's seen the potential out there, it really, like, if not us, then who? I think we have to go dig into this and do the work and discover and create history with Blanc de Bois, sparkling wine, because there's so much potential out there, and I think that it's up to us to be able to go discover that and make it happen. So, man, I want to keep drinking this, by the way,
And guys, keep the comments coming as well.
Yeah.
If you have questions, anything that you want to ask about any of these wines, I'm trying to stay pretty in tune with it. It's good to see you, Josh and Zen and Steve. Thanks for tuning in.
Also, guys, we're gonna have some pretty cool giveaways. So everybody that's watching, stay tuned. At the end of this, we've got a couple of giveaways, a couple of tickets for our Texas Wine Month dinner, and we are doing some Chef Skip and Chef Dan really pulling out all the stops. So we're about to be into Texas Wine Month. So for some gratis tickets to Texas Wine Month dinner, so those are you're gonna have your option on October 14th or the 21st. So.
Yeah, so tune in, stay on, ask any questions. And, pretty good opportunity to win some cool little opportunity to come to dinner that I'll be there.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I like how as soon as I pop that can, your ears perked up.
Oh yeah,
I know how to get it.
So the theme of tonight is passion projects for us, and I think it took a lot of passion to keep this project going, but it's got a cool story, and like every time like that I'm ready to give up on like canned wine and like actually working with it and continue keeping it going, and then you have like one person that comes up to you and you're like, I didn't know that you guys made soy. That's my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
Favorite wine to take to the river or to the lake, and I'm like, all right, I guess we got to keep going. I guess we got to keep doing this, but.
Yeah, go back to 2015. Andrew and I were, obviously we were great friends. We had our own brands. He had co-founded Last Straw, and obviously I co-founded with Chris, and we were kind of cranking along with our brands, and we were talking about all these cool things that we could do, and like how we could make a wine together and this and that. And we also didn't want to take away from, we obviously are family with our co-founders, with Andrew, with Troy, and Andy, and then myself with Bill. And so we were like, man, maybe we do something kind of a little bit outside our space. And we thought about, cans are something really cool and that nobody knows about. Maybe it's the next thing. Maybe we do something fun with canned wine. And so we jumped in, and with both feet. I still remember that first harvest way out at we did some Carignan out at Sagamore forever ago, or not Sagamore. What's that vineyard?
It's Bobby Cox's old vineyard.
Oh my gosh, you can believe that name.
It's changed names now.
Yeah, but it's way out there. And anyways, made our very first can rosé, and this brand is continuing to surprise me. And I hate to say it, like, it's a small brand, and we keep on producing it and we keep on selling it. But obviously, Andrew and I, we're out in the marketplace for Lost Straw and William Chris, and Sway doesn't get the attention that it needs from our brand. But we continue to make it, and it's delicious. We work really hard at making wine, and it's just such a great product. And I was just at my high school 20th year reunion, and if any of the cheerleaders that we shotgun with are watching, yeah, we didn't do a movie, so we shotgunned.
Was it the current cheerleaders or the?
It was when I was sitting there all 20 years old, and we did a hoorah with a little Sway rosé, which was delicious. But this is fantastic.
Oh yeah, it's drinking really well, and I love it just because it's so versatile. I mean, we have literally popcorn and potato chips here, sour cream and onion potato chips. because this is the epitome of a wine that you can actually just have in a casual fashion, in a casual manner.
Mm-hmm.
You can float it on the river. Actually, in your comments, I want to hear like the coolest experience you've had with Sway, like out in the wild. That's like a thing that we've kind of like branded, like enjoying it. Like Sway, you can take anywhere. You don't have to like go to a dinner or go to a tasting room like to have all these wonderful wine. You take it with you on your adventure. And we went hiking with it one time, which was a pretty cool thing. You can float the river, take it on a boat pretty easy.
I've been amazed too that cans are such a great closure for wine. We drank 6 months ago. We drank one of the original cans. It was literally just been sitting on an office shelf, and we popped it open. We put it in the fridge for a little bit, and popped it open, and it was incredibly fresh and incredibly delicious. You know, this is not a wine to be aged. Please don't recommend. I don't recommend you putting this on the shelf for 5 years, but this is as fresh as the day that we canned it. And Andrew, what are the varieties that went into this latest Sway?
Yeah, so that one's Mourvèdre, a little bit of Carignan. It actually has a tiny bit of Riesling in it, which is generally a pretty good little blender.
The Twin T, man, the Twin T Riesling.
And it has just a tiny bit of Muscat as well. You can kind of take the effervescence of it.
The Twin T is one of the oldest Riesling blocks in the state of Texas. That's actually at Andy Timmons, the owner of Lost Straw Vineyards. That's at his father's house, so that's some of the oldest Riesling. It's delicious. It's only, an acre and a half?
Yeah, I think he's got about an acre and a half of that Muscat there. And honestly, like some of the oldest grapes in the county are actually farmed right there.
When Andrew told me, he said, hey, William Wine Company buys all of Twin T Vineyards and Riesling. I was like, oh man, do we really need to buy this from old Riesling and old Muscat? Well, it ends up being kind of the base that all of our winemaking team really wants to use in all the rosés, because the aromatic components out of that Riesling are really delicious, and we can get it very dry. And year in and year out, it like we never end up. It goes in a little bit of the movie guide, right? But it's kind of crazy that we at the end of the year, though, we never have any Riesling to do like a single vineyard Riesling, because. And I was worried. I was like, oh man, we're going to buy this fruit, and we're going to have to bulk out the juice. But all of the winemaking team wants it for their projects, and it always ends up. Yeah,
it all gets used, and that's a cool little area right on Vineyard Road. That's what I call it now, Old Louisa Highway. There's vineyards on either side of some of the older grapes in the state. But yeah, the Sway it's an ongoing project where. Obviously, we have it in the 187 4-pack as well, which is a single serve that is actually one glass of wine.
Yeah.
And if you haven't even seen Sway, I know that there's probably people either watching or potentially they will watch this that have not seen Sway. It's sold at just about any HEB in the state. And if you don't see it, then ask for it, because it's actually allocated there. So. And then obviously you can buy it off the website too. And we actually have a promotion going on it right now.
Oh yeah,
it's
Sway 15.
Sway 15. Yeah, if you plug that in, you get 15% off of all Sway. So if you're a Sway fan out there that buys it regularly, you can get a pretty good deal on it right now and take it to your next adventure. I'm so happy that fall is here. And I think about the last month and a half, I couldn't go outside to do anything during the summer. In the middle of the day.
Just on the surface of the sun.
But now, this is the time of year I want to get outside and go start doing stuff. So
I don't want to do anything except eat sour cream and onion potato chips and drink Sway, because it's a perfect pairing.
Yeah, that's sour cream and onion potato chips.
Kelsey is here tonight, and she put this pairing together, and I kind of was like,
I saw your face.
Yeah, she said sour cream and onion chips and Sway go really well. I was like, seriously? No, it is. If you have Sway, go in your cupboard and your cupboard.
Who has a cupboard?
I don't know. Sorry. Go to your nearest gas station, buy sour cream and onion chips, because that is a match made in heaven. And if you want to really impress somebody, pull out the sour cream and onion chips and throw in some Sway. And like Andrew said, this is just this one can is half a bottle of wine.
Yeah, be careful. it'll catch up to you.
Yeah, Andrew and I are notorious for drinking these cans, bringing them to the golf course. And if you do
Yeah, that is
the back nine is not so hot if you're drinking these like you're drinking beer. So
yeah,
careful.
for sure. It'll get you. So yeah, definitely check out the website. Check out your closest HEB. Drink some Sway. Let us know.
Oh,
Did
sure.
anybody post anything cool about where they've had it before?
Before I forget too, guys, Kelsey Kramer, our amazing director of education, she's got a fall semester starting next week. She's doing a tips and tricks, and she is an amazing educator. I hope everybody knows, everybody in our whole entire company is WCET certified. We're now an actual, our campus is an actual testing center. It's an approved testing center by WCET. So all of our team goes through WCET training.
Even I went through it.
Yes.
Everyone goes.
We're eventually maybe going to start doing that for the public, maybe in the spring. But she's going to start dropping cool tips and tricks to how to prepare for the holidays and for entertaining. It's fall now, so we're going to be drinking a lot more wine, B, entertaining a lot more. We've got football. You're going to have lots of people over. So she's going to give you some real easy basics on how to live your best wine life, which is, I think, really cool because I learn something every time I check one of her shows out.
Yeah, I think that's I was like looking through the notes here, and like one of the coolest things is if you go to a restaurant or something now, and like a glass of wine is like $20.
Yeah, for
It's like, okay, you're paying this good money for the glass of wine, but there are ways to actually enjoy it other than just like drinking it and tasting it. Like to think about it, really ask questions.
You know, that's a great
stuff. Remember it. So these kind of education courses are like good for just like even knowing what to look for, what to think about when you're tasting.
And I think you and I talk about it. I mean, like, you know, I live out in the country, but yeah, I just don't go to dinner as much as I used to. I mean, we go out for events and all that other stuff, but I'd much rather cook at home, have a great bottle of wine. I mean, I love going out to eat. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that we shouldn't, but you know, cooking at home, you can just prepare an easy meal, even if it's just chicken and you know a bottle of sauce or some Sway Rosé. You can have like this amazing experience. You're not distracted by the whole like going to a restaurant, you know, sitting down, driving there, all that good stuff. You can just like hang out.
Oh, I absolutely have to go to a restaurant. Do any of that because my 3 boys like eat at 5 o'clock, and it's amazing to see how much food they eat.
Well, do you put them down and then?
Yeah, I give them a bottle of wine. And then, just kidding. That was a joke. Yeah, no, a lot of times we'll have like a bottle of wine as we're cleaning up dinner.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a while. You get a bottle like spaghetti night, man. It's like spaghetti sauce
Everywhere.
Where it all goes. How do you get it over here?
Well, I had
How
girls.
is it on our dog?
I had girls, so we would always put the girls to sleep, and then we'd eat dinner. Catherine and I, or we still do. Most of the time, we eat as a family. My kids are older, but being able to do that in that setting and buy a better bottle of wine. When you go to restaurants, sometimes it's 3 and 4x of what you can buy the bottle for. So I'd rather take that money and like put it in great.
That's 100%. Like we definitely taste wines from like different wine clubs that we're in, and it's just nice to be like, oh, this is a special bottle.
Yeah,
I love this one. And if you see it at the restaurant, it's like 4 times the price of it.
yeah, for sure. I am not saying that you shouldn't go out to restaurants, by the way, because obviously we're very appreciative of all the amazing folks in the restaurant business that share our wine, and we really appreciate it.
We're talking about passion projects. This is
Yeah.
definitely a passion project.
I've loved this from day one. I just had a bottle of this.
Yeah, so
I do it, by the way.
and I do it. And that if you haven't been there, you should check that place out. Jesse is like one of the most like profound chefs in the country.
So Dai Due is a great restaurant all farm to table in Austin. Jesse Griffiths, he was Bon Appetit's Restaurant of the Year a couple of years ago, a dear friend of ours. He's in some pod classes here. Really, really great guy. Andrew, tell me about the source San Giovese.
Yeah, this is something I'd love to talk about. This is a project that I started with a good friend of mine, Ray Wilson, who is the owner and founder of Wine for the People and has played a big role in helping Texas wines kind of come to the forefront in the market, mostly around Austin. She has a couple of brands that she makes wine for, but her and I were like she used to consult for us.
She used to work.
She actually, yeah, she kind of cut her teeth on the winemaking side here at Chris. And then she's got one of the best palates that I know of anybody I know in the state. And we were talking one time, like just about how there's always been in Texas, we're at a stage in our industry where there is a big disconnect between like the areas of where people are farming and where the wineries are located. And people kind of just assume like, oh, well, if I go buy wine from this winery off of 290, like the grapes they come in here and they get made. But we really wanted to, we started this project and we call it the Grower Project because there are really cool stories of these families and growers and sites all around the state of Texas where there's no affiliation directly to a winery. And so they're just farming and selling fruit. And their story really doesn't get told a lot. And so we started this wine brand just as a way to kind of bring their farming and their family and their site to the forefront of the brand and to each bottle of wine that's served. So all of them are single vineyard sites or single vineyard wines. And we started with the source, which is a San Giovese from Letkeman Vineyards in Seminole, Texas, right outside of Seminole. A good farmer and now like a good friend of ours, Peter Letkeman, who has an amazing story. And honestly, he's like an inspiration for, I think, both of us. Like, where he's been and like what he's done and how he's built like his, call it his empire, but man, that guy's like started from the bottom and now he's here.
Yeah.
And he's got a passion for growing grapes and he's wanting to do better every year. And we've worked with him for about 7 years now. And he was the original vineyard that we sourced the fruit from. So he just farms grapes out there in Seminole.
It's branched up to so many other vineyards.
Oh, it absolutely has.
Altaloma.
Yeah, so we've done Altaloma, we've done vineyard out in Meadow, Texas with the Rowden family. We've done the vineyard up in the B-Star family.
Yeah.
And this particular vintage is all about Uplift, which is a new vineyard that we just started farming about a year and a half ago.
Actually, the 2020 vintage, we didn't even own it then. So.
Yeah, 2020 was, and so this particular bottle of wine is all about, it's a single vineyard wine from that place, and the story is about the people that have been out there working since that vineyard was established. And so it's really cool to tell those guys' story. A lot of times the farmers and the people that are working and tending the vines day in, day out, you know, they don't get any of the recognition most of the time for the wine being this good. But if you've had this wine, like this wine is.
Yeah, and by the way, this is, what does this wine retail for? Is this even available on our website? Or?
Yes, it is $30.
Yeah. I'll tell you right now, this is the best deal on a website that we have is the source San Giovese. It is this wine right now, I'm drinking it, and this wine will never be this price again. I will tell you all right now. The source
It's good, yeah.
is the Grow Project brand. You can find this generally mostly in restaurants, and so and actually there's a whole other story of why this wine ended up in this bottle. But this wine is delicious, and I would pressure anybody here, if you can find a better San Giovese for $30, please bring it to me and let me know, because I will buy it, because this is batting way above, or it's boxing way above its weight right now. So Eric, by the way, I saw you on here a second ago. Very hello. So great to see you. Yeah, this is the first little glimpse at Uplift. I think I know we've had on my
Yeah, it is. It was a way that we were kind of showcasing the vineyard for sure. And honestly, Sangiovese is just like one of my favorite grapes to work with.
I would agree. Man.
From across the state, it's versatile. It's like from a sustainability standpoint, and like this brand is very much about sustainability and about different varieties that we feel like are very sustainable for our state, for our future agriculture projects. And you know, there's a lot of varieties that you see out there that are a little bit obscure, and you're like, oh, this is really cool. And that's great. But like Sangiovese is one that's been doing it every single year, producing every single year.
I feel like we're like Bill Blackman right now, because even 10 years ago, I'd be like, hey, there's this really cool thing called Tanat. We should start planting it, and we should do this, and we should do Moravedra and all this stuff.
Charbonneau,
Yeah.
Graciano, and all these different things.
Well, no, we are doing Graciano. That is one of them.
You are all on
But I feel like we are getting to Andrew and I are getting to this, and maybe we're getting older, maybe we're getting mature, but we're just like, you know what? We are putting more weight behind Sangiovese and Tanat and Moravedra and Tiffany on the Lostro side, Moravedra on the Winchester side. Like, these are the varieties that we're hanging our hat on, and we are choosing to spend the next decade of our lives getting better and better and better at these varieties. And quite frankly, I'm excited about that next crop of winemakers that hopefully, and we'll still take chances, right? We're going to do some, 5 acres of Graciano, 5 acres of this.
We brought in Era de Ava this year. So
Yeah.
Let's see what that.
But I mean, like, I think ultimately though, we have decided what our focus is on. And Sangiovese is one of the best grapes for Texas in this grow project. Forget about it, man. Like, show me a better Sangiovese in the world for that. I mean, like, you can't find it. So,
and it was pretty cool.
And I'll pound for pound bet that wine versus anybody in the world will win.
And it's been, I mean, we've done this little project and brand started in 2015 was the first vintage. And we've done a Sangiovese every year, and every single year the wine is just the Sangiovese is
Incredible.
and it's from different places every time. So it's pretty cool to kind of like follow that trend. And if someone had like a original 2015 source Sangiovese bottle, I would trade you a 6-pack of my personal collection for that bottle.
And you don't have one?
I don't have one. Yeah, and I'm like,
That's the original Luckerman?
the 15 was the original, and it's like saddens me that I don't have any.
Doesn't it suck that, like, you and I have all of our, like, we have these huge libraries of really cool wines that we've collected over the years that we've made, and then like there's the one that got away. There's
always like one or two that you're like, I can't believe I don't have.
It's like when kids, you would just go back and check on,
Yeah.
You would be like, hey,
A lot of them are those original wines too from the vintages or projects.
Well, how many years have we been like, if it ain't bolted down, sell it. We got to make
Oh yeah, when we were first starting, like we started our first vintage was 2012, and like I say the same thing about Lost Draw wines. We sent an email out to like all the Lost Draw members and fans, like if you still have any of the 2012, like Andrew will trade you a case of wine from his personal collection for one of those wines.
Wow.
And I still will. Like if you have a 2012 Lost Draw, either a Tempranillo or Sangiovese, that's our first two brands.
I love it. Hey, by the way, guys, Miss Kelsey made this amazing bowl of
She
popcorn.
popped it herself.
Yeah, she put the bag in, and what she did do is she took one of our spice packs, our rosemary salt.
So good.
Yeah, and this is such a great idea. If you guys, I know that our virtual tasting pack out there, our soldiers, our followers, you may have one of these. If you take some of this rosemary salt and throw it in some popcorn, oh my gosh. All right, we're gonna keep on moving. I know
We're gonna
everybody's
give some stuff away.
so you're gonna give some stuff away. We're gonna keep drinking. I just really wanna
We have any questions?
keep drinking this
Questions?
this
Somebody ask us a
skeleton
question. Come on.
the grow project. Hey, before we do the grow project, I want to share one quick wine.
We were sipping on this earlier.
Yeah, this is a pro tip for the day. Louis Dixon, one of my dearest friends, who owns Lake Crusade Canal. It's a very, very, very small, natural wine. Just really cool hip guy. He's an old attorney that lives in Canyon Lake or Starksville area. I was just, he is the connection that I had with Bill Blackman. He introduced us. He's an amazing guy. I owe him so much, and I really love him and appreciate him. I had a chance to run up to his house for dinner, and I tried this wine at his place. It was absolutely phenomenal. It's all from Robert Clay Vineyards. It is almost all Viognier, and there's a little dab of Ruby Cabernet. It's a little rosé. Yeah, I shared it with Andrew. He didn't even know what it was, and he's like, "Man, I want some more of that. What is that?" So, anyways, if you're in the Canyon Lake area, definitely stop by. Louis has weird hours. He's kind of open to whatever he feels like it.
He beats to his own drum.
That's it. But he's an amazing dude. Go check him out. He's got a bunch of other really cool wines and Madeira and some other stuff. But I just want to give a shout out to my boy, Louis Dixon, because he is a very dear friend and a very awesome mentor, and another great pioneer of Texas wine. And I also got from him, by the way, which I need to share with you, he has a wine called Troubadour, and he made in 2005 a Cab Merlot blend from Granite Hill Vineyards. And I got one of those at the house. Yeah, 2005. And he said he drank one a couple months ago. So I've got that at my house. Maybe if you guys get into one of our dinners, maybe I'll open a bottle of that then. So, anyways.
Hey, maybe it can be for the two people that win these.
You know, that may be. That's a good idea.
I agree with this key.
Little skeleton key. By the way, I drank the hell out of skeleton key this weekend. Man, I tell you what, I don't know if any of you guys.
Last weekend, so I watched the Aggies.
I just watched the Aggies beat the hell out of Arkansas, so that was the highlight.
Did you see?
What was that little school in Lubbock?
Who did they play?
The Horns or something like that. Oh, the Longhorns. Yeah, they beat the hell out of Longhorns, didn't they? Yeah. Little Texas Tech.
I know.
Little Texas Tech.
Just kidding. I was tuned in. So wreck them.
I actually texted him in the middle of the game at the very end, right when they're going to.
Yeah, you did. I was like, "Are you trolling me right now?"
I was like, "Recommend. I'm rooting for you guys." So it was awesome.
It's a good weekend for us.
Yeah.
Cowboys won. Back up.
Oh yeah, I mean, it was a great weekend. So where I was going to start with this. It was my 20th year high school reunion. Yes, I feel old, but it was. And I'm from a little town called San Angelo. It's like
that, dude. I'm from Brownfield.
Well, agreed, but 110,000 people, and we went. Catherine, my beautiful bride. And I went and we brought a couple of cases of skeleton key and a couple of cases of hunter and some sway to share with all of our classmates. It was awesome, and so we crushed some skeleton key, and it just made me so proud to be able to share that wine with our friends. Yeah,
that one was singing.
It is gorgeous right now, and a lot of folks do not know there's a little secret code to the skeleton key.
Why don't you tell us the story of how the skeleton key got its name? I think a lot of people are like, don't really realize how close it's tied to the Lakers brand.
So that's a great point. Thank you, Andrew. In 2013, 2014, we had one of the two toughest vintages that I can remember. Basically, we had a really bad freeze, and that was before anybody had wind machines in 2013. We had a really bad freeze. And 2014, we also had a bad freeze. It wasn't as bad as 13, but also negatively affected fruit in Texas. And that was when everybody was like, all right, we got to start getting
figure something out here.
Right. And we got froze out a little. We had a freeze damage in the Hill Country and the High Plains. Not season ending. But what I did is literally scoured all these vineyards in East Texas, and Pierre DeWet, who's an amazing mentor of mine, has passed away now. Just really great guy from Quebrasol. He ended up selling us quite a bit of fruit, and then we bought fruit from like 10 other people, all in East Texas, and we had like, as far as like from a winemaking standpoint, it was miserable to try to like basically figure out all these like little, like you were saying, like going to figure out how to pick and drink an acre and a half or 2 acres. We were basically doing that like 10x at all these little places, but we were committed to 100% Texas grown wine. And we brought in all these little lots, and all of them were good. It was just so many different lots. And in the end, we made all of our blends that we needed to, and then we kind of had like 10 or 12 or 15 different lots. I can't remember now. And we're like, okay, we have 2 barrels of that, 3 barrels of that, 1 barrel of this, 2 barrels of this, 10 barrels of that. You know, what are we going to do with it? So we said, all right, we need to make one blend that is really delicious, and we kind of started blending on it, and we could make kind of a kitchen sink or a beautiful amalgamation of all of our wines in this one wine, and it was really great. And we're like, okay, cool. Well, what are we going to call it? And when we were building, or we didn't build it, but when we were remodeling the old house that brought us to greatness and helped us build our business, the old farmhouse, it was over 100 years old. When we were remodeling it, at the very beginning, I literally just hired a bunch of bull riders. Terrible employees, by the way. If you ever get a chance to hire a bull rider, just don't. Yeah, you have to pay them on Tuesdays, because if you pay them on Thursdays, they're all going to take their money and go ride Friday night. And then, so pro tip: always pay bull rider on Tuesday. So, anyways, started remodeling, and we had this 100-year-old farmhouse that was all run down. And when we started taking the doors off and taking all the walls off, I found a skeleton key that it was sitting on a hook on one of the doors, and it opened up all the doors in the old house. I thought it was really cool, and so I set it on my desk and I lost it, which was a real bummer. So then when found lost it, surprise, real shocker. So 5 years later, 4 years later, when Bill and I are starting, thinking about calling a wine skeleton key, we thought about it. We're like, man, remember the skeleton key? He's like, yeah. He's like, cool, man. Let's call it a skeleton key. He's like, I love the idea. And I was like, man, I have got to tell you, I'm so sorry. I had that skeleton key on my desk. I have no idea where it is anymore. He was like, oh, no worries, man. I knew you would lose it, so I put it in my desk, and I've had it for all these years. And so the whole time. And so this picture right here is actually a picture of the original skeleton key. There's a little bit of the star in that key. And so I think this key is, the skeleton key is a real awesome part of our success. And that's, this is quite frankly how our company, our whole entire company, not just playing Chris Vineyards, but Lost Straw Cellars and all of our vineyard team, this is one of the main sources of health insurance. So as you guys go to HEB, Central Market, Whole Foods, all these different restaurants, you cannot, there's not a lot of William Chris Vineyards wine out in the retail market space, and there's probably not ever going to be, but this skeleton key is definitely the path to not only get a great bottle of wine, but also know that you're helping get us all health insurance, which, trust me, we all appreciate very, very much.
What he means by that is, like, we made a big jump with the skeleton key in the marketplace about 2.5, 3 years ago.
Yep.
Right before the merger between Lost Straw and Chris. And it was doing that process, we're always hesitant with even Lost Straw wines and William Chris wines. Like, we don't want to just mass produce our product. Like, one, it's hard to stay true to Texas, to just source enough fruit to continue to like make more and more wine. And like, it's not as fun. Like, if we can't just like always be in there trying every day to make the best product. And quantity is always not the best.
Yeah.
outcome, but this being able to have like skeleton key available in the marketplace was like, we hooked up with the distributor and they're like, yeah, if you guys were able to, like, we could make enough wine to put in this many HEBs, then, this would be the revenue. So like, that was like, it kind of clicked one day because it was like almost the same amount of money as what the health insurance like bill was going to be to like add health insurance for a company. So it was actually kind of just like a cool thing. It was like, let's do skeleton key in the market and it'll pay for everybody's health insurance. So.
And now you're able to buy that in New York and Arkansas and Louisiana, and it's pretty awesome. Also, I just heard somebody that loves this with antelope sausage. That's great.
Antelope sausage.
Is it black buck antelope, or is it? Yeah, I'm interested. Bring some in. Okay, guys.
Chris,
Yes, we got a question. Oh yeah,
Oh,
sorry.
if people want to know more about the skeleton key, what are the grapes in it? What's the primary grape? Is it Texas High Kings versus Hill Country?
Yeah, so this is mostly Cabernet Sauvignon, a little bit of Sangiovese, Merlot, Tannat, Tempranillo. There's a little bit of Touriga, Petit Verdot. Also, that is in the 6. So pro tip for all you guys out there, if you look right over the barcode, you can see a very small little mark, a Roman numeral, and that's how you tell what vintage. So Tony and I strive very hard to produce a wine that is very similar to the previous vintage and has a lot of notes of the same aspects vintage after vintage. So that's how you can kind of know with that little Roman numeral which one you're getting. But I tell you what, if you rolled back and did a tasting, they're pretty spot on, and it's a fun wine to make because
It takes us the longest time to make. Too.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, it's very challenging to put that wine together.
We're actually now blending blends as like components to blend for the skeleton key. So we'll like get a group of wines together, blend it, make the best possible wine, get another group of wines, make the best possible wine, get another group of wines, make the best possible wine, and then go blend those components together to make the final product, which is
it's a huge process. And now we're producing a couple thousand cases of this, which is pretty incredible. And again, I love that we're able to share this wine with the world. And we always think of it as like the 500 series. It's the entry level wine, to our portfolio. Kels, what other question we have?
How did you come up with the first blend, and how long did it take to perfect?
That first blend, we had about 30 barrels, I think. And we used, I think, 22, 24 barrels in the blend. And I mean, because like in the winemaking business, right? Like you got to do something with the wine. And so, like you kind of like make your top tier wines, your second tier wines, your third tier wines, and keep on blending and keep on blending. And it's crazy. I'll be very frank with you guys. Sometimes, sometimes it's Andrew, sometimes it's Tony, sometimes it's me, sometimes it's our consultant John. We'll remember a wine that maybe by itself, it was a bit of a rusty pitting. Like we're like a rusty pitting is a bad analogy, but like maybe it only had like one or two.
one great standalone wine. Like one or two good components to it.
Yeah, but it had something that was special, right? But didn't taste good standalone. And then when you're blending, you're like, hey, and our cellar guys love this, and we call them like a middle blending session. You're like, hey, those 2 barrels that are in the corner, can you bring us some of this? And we can go taste it. And that might be that little missing thing, that little piece that really pulls the wine all together. And so think about it like when you're playing. I'm not a musician, but when you hear a bunch of people harmonizing, or you're playing a song, you got the drums and the bass and the tambourine and the guitars and the violin and everybody going together, the brass section and the squeeze box. One little thing can really harmonize that wine. And so that first skeleton key, It took a long time, and Andrew is very correct in that, and like, 'cause he gets to sit in all his blending sessions for a skeleton key, and this is the toughest wine that we make, and we spend more time blending this wine. A, because we want to get it right. B, because this can have 10 different components in it, and with different barrels and different oaks, and all these different things, and so and we take very, very seriously this wine. So
Yeah, it takes the most work to make this wine. And what I love about it is I feel like it just like embodies the vintage more than any other wine we make. Across the entire spectrum of hill country, high plains, like all of it together.
I have never thought about
It like embodies like the entire vintage, which is kind of cool because there is actually like one of the components of the blend that we're about to actually blend the next round of this in our next blending session.
Which is gonna be a real pain in the ass because it's like maybe
There's a hill country blend, there's a high plains blend, and we're like going to go play around with all this together. So I think it's a really cool thing that embodies the vintage every year.
for sure.
And I always feel like it's a good holiday wine. Like it's a good.
Well, this is a wine that you can have like a 6-pack at your house, and you're not worried if your neighbors come over and
Bring
just
the whole,
like
that's what I was saying. Bring the whole family out or like a dinner party. It's like bring 5 of these. Like everybody likes this wine.
4 cases of this in 44 minutes. 44 minutes. Like the bartender came up at my 20th high school reunion and he was like, we ripped through 4 cases. It's all gone. Can we go to that?
It's super approachable and like there's just like a cool like a bunch of layers to it. Nobody ever doesn't like skeleton key.
So also guys, before I forget to, again, like Andrew said with Sway, and the same with the Grower Project, this is a wine that if it's not at your HEB or the store that you like, if you ask for it, that helps us greatly.
Yeah,
so,
it really does.
And also if you have the buyer's name and you say, hey, I will have William and Chris or Lost Straw will reach out to you to make this happen. Like we are approved in all HEBs, so please let us know. We'll be happy to reach out to that salesperson.
All right, I have to actually say the holiday gifting packs are now available.
Oh,
And they include recipes and so it's great wine that's great for the holidays. So
cool.
definitely check that out.
Yeah, holiday gifting packs. Kelsey, are those online already and live?
Yeah, they're in the comments.
So if you're worried about,
They're in the comments.
if you're freaking out about what to get your friends and family or your coworkers
You can never go wrong with mine.
or your employees, this is one thing. By the way, if you guys have any ideas, we always struggle with what to get our team for Christmas. Obviously, a 4-pack of William and Chris wine would be a little lackluster or a little less strong wine. So if you have any ideas, please send it to us. But for you, if
He means for our team.
yeah, for our team, that's what I'm saying. Also, what kind of we had something added to the pack. What was it? You said we're gonna have one more the holiday pack.
That's the recipe, right?
Recipes, custom recipes by
Yeah.
Chef Skip King.
That's it.
So he actually put his stuffing recipe, which is like a big deal because he didn't even want to give me that last year.
No,
I had that stuff.
You're gonna get the stuff. You're gonna get the cornbread in the pack, correct?
With the virtual tasting that you're doing, but with the gifting packs that you can purchase online, he's created recipes for each of those wines as well. So you can get a collection of recipes.
That's pretty cool.
So we're basically gonna have you covered for the holidays with all these recipes.
You're gonna feel like a hero for your family.
Cornbread,
You know, family coming in. You just follow the recipe.
We got you, man.
Get the wine, get the recipe. You're gonna be good.
All right, so next up, guys, for all you watching, the next virtual tasting is coming up Wednesday, November 9th. Catherine is going to be with me. I know she's a lot cooler than I am. Chef Skip's going to be
Cooler
here.
than I am.
Oh, I love hanging out with you, man.
I know she's really good at all the virtuals.
Well, she's just better looking than both of us put together.
Yeah.
But she's going to be with us November 9th. We got a lot of cool wines coming at you for that. And then don't forget, remember Kelsey's tips and tricks coming up. So, all right, are we ready?
It's giveaway time. We're gonna do the giveaway.
So the giveaway, we're gonna do one giveaway, and guess what? We're gonna give you a box of Gabriel glass. So you're going to get these beautiful wine glasses. These are, what are these, $40, $38?
I don't know. So
Yeah.
you actually gave me one of these like as a housewarming gift, and like I don't let anyone drink it. I don't know what that means.
You know, these things are like well, they're not bulletproof, but we've used a lot of different glass here. These are incredible. Gabriel glass is by far the best glass in the world right now, and it has been for the last 2 years. We go through a lot of different wine glasses. These things are incredible. I highly recommend them. So for this lucky winner, we are going to give you a set of Gabriel glass, and we're going to give you 2 tickets to, you have your choice of the October 24th, or excuse me, October 14th, or the 21st wine dinner. And that winner is Josh, George. Yeah, Josh, if you're
Josh had some good comments coming in here.
if you're not still here, we're gonna boot you and get somebody else. But Josh,
Congratulations.
Mark, sorry you missed it. It wasn't you. Tara, I want to hear your chili cornbread
recipe.
Yeah.
We have another giveaway.
Yes, and 2 tickets to the wine month.
2 tickets to the Texas Wine Month dinner.
Oh, we
That's
got
what
one
I'm
more.
giving that away.
Oh.
I get to give that away.
Awesome.
All right. So thank you guys for tuning in tonight. The Texas Wine Month. So also, if you don't know, October about to be there. Texas Wine Month.
Josh is here, by the way. Thank you, Josh. Appreciate you.
Josh drinks sway at baseball practice. I think I saw that.
That's what we're talking about, Josh.
And for a guy with kids that have to go to coaching practice, I think that's not a bad idea. I'm in on that.
You're a coach. You can be drinking sway.
Actually, at soccer practices right before this.
You're drinking sway.
I didn't drink any sway because I always have this going on, but next week.
Next week, let's go.
Next week.
You get
2 back in.
in.
2 back in for post soccer practice trip. All right, so we got 2 tickets, Texas Wine Month dinner, and our new next winner is Christy Gillian, and we're super excited that you get to come out.
Gillian or Gilliland?
Gillian. There's a lot of L's in that thing. Gilliland. Well, congratulations.
Doug, good to see you, by the way.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
That will be a good dinner.
Yeah, for sure. We'll be there with bells on.
Skip will be cooking, I'm sure. And then also, like Chris said earlier, don't forget to join Kelsey for her virtual tips and tricks on getting the most out of every glass. That's what we were talking about earlier. That'll be a pretty cool thing to do. And that's every Thursday starting next week. So starting next Thursday, 1 week from today, we're going to do that. And it'll be kind of a cool, it'll be a short little thing, not a large time commitment.
Let us know when you want to plan your trip too, guys. We've got Lost Draw, Johnson City opening up, Lost Draw Ranch here in the next month and a half.
Exciting stuff. If you haven't been out by Johnson City, we're getting close to opening up.
Pretty incredible. Also, we've got Uplift opening up by the end of the year, maybe first week of January. So, guys, thanks so much for tuning in with us. Drew, love you, man.
Yeah,
we don't get to do very many of these together anymore. So.
I know. My harvest is over, so maybe we can do it again.
Thank you guys so much for all you do. We cannot say how much we appreciate it.
Definitely join him and Catherine November 9th.
For sure.
7 p.m.
Hey, plan your next trip out to the Hill Country. We'd love to see you. Also, we're coming up to, we've got dinners in Houston and Dallas and Fort Worth and Antonio coming up over the next couple of months.
Stay tuned. Follow us on all the socials. That's the best way to get a lot of the information. We're sending a lot of emails right now, but we got a lot of really cool stuff going on. So stay tuned.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for this.
Mark, I'll see you in South Dakota.